When and how is this going to end?
Well, Democrats should have read the book. Read the book on shutdowns. It was written by Republicans. If they would have read the book, they might have understood that, one, you don't use a federal government shutdown to try and leverage your policy objectives. It doesn't work. It didn't work for Republicans. It's not going to work for Democrats. Two, if you're going to go into a shutdown, as I think Republicans learned before I got here back in 2013, maybe, you need to have an exit strategy. You need to understand, one, what you're doing and why, and two, you've got to, it's almost like the lawyer that sits down with you and says, all right, if everything goes your way, this is what you can expect. By the way, everything doesn't always go your way. People are involved, human beings. Things can change on a second's notice. So it might be B, C, or D. They didn't do that, Mark. Literally, they don't know why they're doing this. They try to tell everybody we're going to make it about healthcare. This ain't about healthcare. If it was about healthcare, then who's the genius that filed that written counter proposal in the Senate that shows it's about healthcare, all right? It's about putting illegals back on taxpayer-funded healthcare, and by the way, gutting $50 billion from Americans' rural healthcare. These guys didn't have a plan.
All right, so I take your points, or what I might call talking points, but now tell me how it's going to end.
Well, without a exit strategy, it's hard to say how it's going to end. So they were talking about the 18th. They were talking about the 18th because there was what the Democrats would call the No Kings rally, what we call is the Hate America rally. They were talking about that as being the date, the important date, because the concern was on their side, if you open the government before the rally becomes about you. So we got to get past the rally. Well, they got past the rally, and that's why I bring up no exit strategy. Now they really don't know what to do. Today they're going to vote on a bill that Ron Johnson is putting up, and John Thune's putting it on the floor, that would fund all essential workers during the shutdown. Mark, this should be right in their wheelhouse. They're going to vote it down, we're being told.
Apparently.
And they're saying November 1st.
So your answer is you don't know when it's going to end either, is what you're telling me.
I don't think so. I think it gets harder and harder. My answer is I think it gets harder and harder for them to reopen the government every day this goes on.